a force to be reckoned with, Russia's historical military might. The sheer scale and grandeur of its military parades have always been a testament to its strength and discipline. Russia, for centuries, cultivated an image of formidable military power. This image was not just for show. It was built on rigorous training, strategic innovation, and a deep-rooted military tradition. From the days of the Tsars to the Soviet era, the Russian bear cast a long shadow over Europe and the world. The Tsarist forces were known for their discipline and the sheer number of troops they could mobilize, while the Soviet military was recognized for its technological advancements and strategic prowess. The vast steppes of its territory have been both a blessing and a curse, shaping a military doctrine centered on resilience, defense in depth, and overwhelming force. The harsh climate and expansive geography necessitated a unique approach to warfare, one that emphasized endurance and strategic depth. The Red Army's triumph over Nazi Germany in World War II cemented this reputation, showcasing the courage of its soldiers and the potency of its industrial might. The Battle of Stalingrad and the Siege of Leningrad are just two examples of the Red Army's resilience and strategic brilliance. The Cold War saw an intense arms race, with Russia reaching near parity with the United States in terms of nuclear weapons and conventional forces. This period was marked by significant advancements in military technology, including the development of intercontinental ballistic missiles and sophisticated defense systems. This legacy cemented Russia's image as a military giant, a perception that persisted even after the collapse of the Soviet Union. The post-Soviet era saw Russia striving to maintain its military prowess, despite the economic and political challenges it faced. However, beneath the veneer of military strength, cracks were beginning to show. The decline of the Soviet Union left many military installations in disrepair, and the morale of the troops began to wane. The transition to a market economy in the 1990s proved tumultuous, leaving Russia's armed forces underfunded and demoralized. The lack of resources led to inadequate training and outdated equipment, further eroding the effectiveness of the military. Corruption became endemic, eroding efficiency and readiness. High-ranking officials often siphoned off funds meant for military development, leading to widespread inefficiencies and a lack of preparedness. While Russia retained its nuclear arsenal, its conventional forces languished, relying on aging equipment and outdated tactics. The once mighty tanks and aircraft of the Soviet era were now relics, struggling to keep up with modern warfare demands. The annexation of Crimea in 2014 and the subsequent intervention in Syria provided a glimpse of Russia's renewed military ambitions. These actions demonstrated a willingness to project power beyond its borders and reassert its influence on the global stage. Yet these conflicts also exposed critical vulnerabilities, raising questions about the true extent of Russia's military capabilities. Despite its ambitions, the Russian military faced significant challenges, including logistical issues, outdated equipment, and strategic missteps. The bear's broken wings, unmasking Russia's aerial shortcomings. Russia, a nation once synonymous with formidable air power, now finds itself grappling with a myriad of challenges that have clipped its aerial prowess. Russia's Air Force, once a source of national pride and a symbol of its military might, now faces significant challenges that threaten its operational effectiveness and strategic capabilities. The much-vaunted modernization programs, which were intended to usher in a new era of aerial dominance, have faltered. These programs have failed to deliver the fifth-generation aircraft needed to compete with Western counterparts, leaving Russia lagging behind in the race for air superiority. The production of new aircraft has been hampered by a series of crippling sanctions. These sanctions have particularly targeted the supply of advanced avionics and engine components, essential for the development of modern fighter jets. As a result, the assembly lines have slowed, and the output of new, cutting-edge aircraft has dwindled. The reliance on older aircraft, many dating back to the Soviet era, presents a serious challenge. These aging platforms, while once state-of-the-art, are now relics of a bygone era. struggling to keep pace with the demands of modern aerial warfare. These aging platforms suffer from a host of maintenance issues. The limited availability of spare parts, coupled with a lack of compatibility with modern weapon systems, further exacerbates the problem. Mechanics and maintenance crews are often left scrambling to keep these old birds in the air. This technological gap is most evident in the realm of precision-guided munitions. Here, Russia lags significantly behind NATO countries, whose advanced munitions offer greater accuracy and lethality. This disparity in technology has profound implications for Russia's ability to conduct effective air operations. The shortage of skilled pilots and support crews further exacerbates the situation. Training programs have struggled to produce the number of qualified personnel needed to operate and maintain the Air Force's fleet. The training pipeline has been unable to keep pace with attrition, leading to a deficit of experienced personnel. This shortage of seasoned pilots and support staff undermines the Air Force's operational readiness and effectiveness. Moreover, the emphasis on large-scale exercises, often characterized by scripted scenarios and limited realism, has done little to prepare pilots for the complexities of modern warfare. These exercises, while impressive in scale, fail to replicate the unpredictable and dynamic nature of real combat situations. The conflict in Ukraine has exposed the limitations of Russia's Air Force in stark terms. The inability to achieve air superiority, a fundamental tenet of Russian military doctrine, has highlighted the gap between ambition and capability. The failure to establish air superiority over the battlefield, a fundamental tenet of Russian military doctrine, highlights the gap between ambition and capability. This shortfall has had significant strategic and tactical implications on the ground. The downing of numerous Russian aircraft, including advanced fighters, by Ukrainian air defenses, has further tarnished the reputation of Russia's air power. These losses have not only been a blow to Russia's military capabilities, but also to its prestige and image as a formidable air power. Rudderless ambition. Russia's naval aspirations adrift. Once a formidable force on the high seas, Russia's Navy now finds itself struggling to maintain its relevance in an ever-evolving maritime landscape. Russia's Navy, once a potent symbol of global power projection, finds itself similarly constrained. The grandeur of its past is overshadowed by the stark realities of the present, where economic constraints and technological stagnation have taken a heavy toll. The grand ambitions of restoring Russia's maritime might have run aground on the shoals of economic reality and technological stagnation. The vision of a powerful blue-water navy capable of projecting power across the globe has been hampered by a myriad of challenges. The surface fleet in particular suffers from a lack of modern warships capable of challenging NATO's naval dominance. Despite efforts to modernize, the fleet remains outmatched by the advanced capabilities of Western navies. The construction of new vessels has been plagued by delays, cost overruns, and technical problems. Shipyards struggle to keep up with the demands of modern naval construction, often falling behind schedule and exceeding budgets. The much-touted Admiral Kuznetsov aircraft carrier, Russia's only such vessel, has been beset by accidents and breakdowns, highlighting the challenges of maintaining a blue-water navy. Its operational history is marred by a series of unfortunate incidents, reflecting the broader issues within the fleet. The Black Sea Fleet, once a formidable force in the region, has suffered significant losses in the conflict with Ukraine, further diminishing Russia's naval power. The ongoing conflict has exposed vulnerabilities and inflicted damage that will take years to repair. The submarine fleet, traditionally a source of Russian strength, also faces an uncertain future. While it remains a critical component of Russia's naval strategy, it too is not immune to the broader challenges facing the Navy. While Russia retains a significant number of nuclear-powered submarines, many are aging and in need of modernization. The fleet's aging vessels require extensive maintenance and upgrades to remain operationally effective. The development of new classes of submarines has been hampered by technological challenges and the loss of key suppliers due to sanctions. These obstacles have slowed progress and limited the Navy's ability to field new, advanced submarines. The lack of a robust shipbuilding industry further compounds these problems. Shipyards, once bustling with activity, now struggle to keep pace with the demands of modern naval construction. Decades of underinvestment and a reliance on foreign suppliers have left Russia's shipyards ill-equipped to meet the demands of modern naval construction. The reliance on outdated technology and foreign components has created a bottleneck in the production process. The result is a shrinking fleet, increasingly reliant on outdated vessels and struggling to keep pace with the naval capabilities of its rivals. As other nations continue to advance their naval technologies, Russia's fleet risks falling further behind, unable to project the power it once commanded. Shadows on the parade ground. The depletion of Russia's manpower. The most critical factor undermining Russia's military ambitions may be the state of its manpower. The once vast reserves of the Soviet era have dwindled, a consequence of demographic decline and economic stagnation. Russia's population is shrinking, and the pool of young men eligible for military service is diminishing. This demographic crunch has forced the Russian military to rely increasingly on contract soldiers, a shift that has come at the cost of quality. While contract service offers higher pay and benefits, it has failed to attract sufficient numbers of qualified recruits. Many young Russians, faced with limited economic opportunities, are reluctant to commit to a military career. The quality of training has also suffered. Conscripts who make up a significant portion of the armed forces receive limited training, often focused on basic soldiering skills rather than the specialized knowledge needed in a modern military. The lack of experienced non-commissioned officers, a crucial element in any effective army, further diminishes the combat effectiveness of Russian units. The reliance on poorly trained and ill-equipped conscripts has been exposed in the conflict in Ukraine, where Russian forces have suffered heavy casualties. The high attrition rates, combined with the demoralizing effects of battlefield losses, have further eroded the morale and fighting spirit of the Russian military.